House will come to order. The invocation today will be given by Dr. Miracle Norred from New St. Paul Missionary Baptist Church in Warren, guests of Representative Edwards. Will members, staff, and guests in the gallery please join me?
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. Lord, we declare that this is the day that you have made, and we will rejoice and be glad for it. Thank you for the positions, the opportunities that you have provided within the state of Michigan. We are grateful for our governor, state representatives, senators, and other state officials who tirelessly work for the good of all people. Thank you for the resources and responsibilities that you have entrusted to them as your servant leaders. Let forgiveness and mercy be our portion as we continue pressing toward the mark of the high calling that you have given us to serve. We thank you for the divine shifts occurring in our educational, culture, and economic climates, knowing that all things are working together for our good. We are grateful for your guidance through divine strategy, innovation ideas, and partnerships that will enable us to win from within. Empower us as a people to break through barriers, overcome territorial strongholds, and psychological challenges that might hinder our progress. We lift up our leaders and residents, acknowledging that all authority comes from you, God. Fill the hearts of Michigan leaders and communities with grace, integrity, and care as they lead, and serve with compassion, wisdom, discernment, and strength. May their leadership honor you and foster a spirit of unity and excellence among us all. We ask that you will instill brotherly kindness, compassion, and healing within our communities, nurturing reconciliation and cooperation, providing our leaders with the resources needed to empower every resident of Michigan, from the youngest children to the leaders of major corporations, ensuring each decision promotes the well-being and prosperity for us all. We pray specifically for our governor, members of the Senate, House of Representatives, and other officials placed in positions of power and influence and authority. We ask that you will guide each of them to align with your will, to align with your way and your timing, ensuring that their actions are honorable in your sight. We pray that you will order their steps in righteousness, in justice, in equality, and inclusion for the good of all. We offer this prayer in the spirit of love and truth. Amen.
The clerk will open the board for the purpose of taking attendance. The board is now open. Members may check in at their desks. WZMQ TV 19 out of Marquette has permission to record today's session. WWMT News Channel 3 out of Kalamazoo has permission to record today's session. For the purposes of an introduction, speaker recognizes Representative DeBoer.
I did. Thank you, Madam Pro Tem. With those from Vanderbilt Academy, we're so glad to have you here. We have 23 students and 10 adults from Holland. They're in the West Gallery for Vanderbilt Academy. Welcome to Lansing. Thank you for studying about your state government.
Will the special guest of Representative DeBoer please rise and welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. For the purposes of an introduction, the speaker recognizes Representative Wolford.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today I have a special guest with me. This is Jonathan Martin, visiting from Livingston County, a business owner, and he's at my desk. So let's give him a round of
Will the
applause.
special guest of Representative Wolford please rise and welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. WWTV Channel 9 and 10 out of Cadillac has permission to record today's session. For the purpose of a tribute presentation, the speaker recognizes Representative Steele.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Today, colleagues, I would like to pay an honorable respect to, I'm going to wait a minute.
Colleagues, please give Representative Steele your attention. She's here to present a tribute.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Today, I rise today to honor a wonderful ally, community partner, and Sheriff Bouchard from Oakland County here today with us, and we would like to pay special tribute to him as well.
Members, would please help me welcome Sheriff Bouchard to the House of Representatives. Speaker recognizes Representative Steele.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I would just like to mention, too, that our sheriff was also an illustrious state representative at one time, too. So I would like to mention that. And senator, excuse me. So I just wanted to recognize that Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard is being recognized for his outstanding achievement, and he is named the 2024 Sandra Hutchins Sheriff of the Year by the Major County Sheriffs of America, MCSA, and it awards Sheriff Bouchard's exceptional leadership, dedication, and unwavering commitment to public safety. So I would just like to recognize him on that behalf, if that is good.
Thank you, Sheriff Bouchard, for your service and dedication to the state of Michigan. Colleagues, we've got a member wishing to present another tribute. Please give him your attention. The chair recognizes Speaker Hall.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Did everyone see what I put on your desks today? I don't know if I can do that under the rules. I won't do it again, but this is on all your desks. Today is Western Michigan University Day here at the Capitol. We're very excited. And you see we have our Kalamazoo delegation here with me, our reps from Kalamazoo, and we're honoring here a very special person, the president of Western Michigan University, Dr. Ed Montgomery. Now, and he's retiring, which we're very nervous about the future of our institution, but there's a great presidential search committee, and they tell me they're going to have somebody good. But I'll just say this with Dr. Montgomery, and you guys over here are going to like this. He was one of Obama's auto czars, and he's recognized as one of the greatest economists in the United States on labor. And so when he was picked, I said, I'm not going to like this guy. But I'll tell you what, you've earned the respect of everybody, and Dr. Montgomery has built a much stronger, respected reputation for Western Michigan University under his leadership, where he's brought people together. So I see why President Obama liked you so much. But I'll tell you, when I talked to President Montgomery, you know, the biggest impact that he's made is he's completely redefined the campus. For those of you that have not been to Western Michigan University since President Montgomery became president, you won't even recognize it. You look at the iconic view of it from Stadium Drive and all the buildings that have been built there. It's incredible the changes you've made to the way the campus looks. It's incredible what you've done. Really setting it up for the future. It's incredible. And I'll just say, you know, you see the difference that it makes.
Members, please give your attention to Speaker Hall. Speaker recognizes Representative Speaker Hall.
I was at Jerry Nyer talking, the Central Michigan rep, I don't know. But anyway, so for Western Michigan University Day, I just want to say, you look at this when you have the right leader, and we see this here in this body, but when you have the right leader leading the university at Western, bringing people together, building confidence in the university, you see more people investing in the university, you see the partnerships growing and the morale growing with the faculty, with the students, the achievements going up. You see the real leadership that Dr. Ed Montgomery has brought to Western.
Members, please join me in welcoming Dr. Edward Montgomery to the Michigan House of Representatives. Speaker recognizes Speaker Hall.
Thank you. So we have this beautiful tribute recognizing Dr. Ed Montgomery on, you know, who's retiring soon. We're going to miss him. Now, I told the university board, because he's retiring June 30th, he's going to negotiate this whole state budget on higher ed and then give it to his successor, and then the successor is going to take credit for it. So you're really setting up your successor for a great opening. So that's the kind of leader he is. But myself and Representative Rogers and Representative Longjohn and Rep. Leitner want to present this tribute to Dr. Montgomery on his great service to Western Michigan University.
Dr. Montgomery, thank you again for your service to Western Michigan University and the state of Michigan. For the purposes of an introduction, the speaker recognizes Representative Kuntz.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Colleagues, I have a special friend here today. Brian Ignatowski from Pinckney, Michigan, is joining us in the West Gallery.
Will the special guests of Representative Kuntz please rise? Welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. For the purpose of a staff farewell, the speaker recognizes Representative Martis.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This is going to hurt. I rise today to not say goodbye, but see you later to my legislative director, my boss, my best friend, Ashley Christian. Ashley and I first met 6 years ago as interns for former Democratic leader Christine Gregg, where we bonded over both being from Genesee County and a shared love of superheroes. Ashley soon became one of my closest friends as she became a seasoned legislative staffer working for former leader Christine Gregg, Representative Christy Pagan, then Representative Ranjiv Puri, and the late, great Tim Sneller. When I first won my primary in August of 2022, I called Ashley and I asked her if she would come to work for me. She said no. The first call I got then after the November 2022 election was from Ashley, and she said, let's get to work. Ashley and I have been a team since day one, since I took office. We're both passionate.
Colleagues, please give Representative Martis your attention. Speaker recognizes Representative Martis.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We'll edit that out later. We're both passionate about reinvesting in the community we love so much, work closely on policy and appropriations, and have built an office culture that I'm very, very proud of because we push for everyone to succeed, even if it means admitting that sometimes it's time to move on. Ashley always keeps me honest. She will always be honest with me, no matter what question I ask her. If I ask her if I'm staying true to the ideals that I had when I was first elected, if I'm doing my very best, if the suit that I'm wearing today makes me look like an extra in The Sopranos, or if Selena Gomez had gotten that love letter I wrote her when I was 8 years old, would she and I be married by now? The answer to those first three are yes. The last one is a no. So I'm so proud of her, not just as her boss, or as I feel most days as her employee. I'm proud of who she is as a person, all that she's accomplished over the past 6 years in Lansing, and all that she's going to do next. Thank you, Ashley.
Colleagues, please join me in thanking Ashley Christian for her service to the House of Representatives. Speaker recognizes Representative Martis.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I have a tribute signed by the Democratic leader and myself, thanking her for her service, and a signed seal of the state of Michigan that I would like to present to her.
Thank you, Ashley. We appreciate your service. Speaker recognizes Minority Floor Leader Fitzgerald.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to excuse Representatives Arbit, Herzberg, Neely, and Whitsett.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will close the board, tally, display, and announce today's attendance.
Madam Speaker, a quorum of the House is present. There are no members absent with prior excuse.
Will members, staff, and guests in the gallery please rise and join me now in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance Speaker recognizes Majority Caucus Chair Borton.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Attention, Republican members. We have Republican caucus in the Republican caucus room. Attention, Republican members. We have Republican caucus in the Republican caucus room.
Speaker recognizes Democrat Caucus Chair Young.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Democratic colleagues, we have caucus in the Democratic caucus room. Democratic colleagues, caucus in the Democratic caucus room. Thank you.
The House will go at ease at the college chair.
The House come to order and proceed to announcements by the clerk of printing and enrollment.
The clerk announced the following bills and joint resolution will be reproduced and made available electronically on Tuesday, March 18th. House Bills 4243 through 4266, House Joint Resolution G, and Senate Bills 158 through 186. Clerk announced the following bills will be reproduced and made available electronically on Wednesday, March 19th. Senate Bills 187 through 189. Clerk announced the following Senate bills received on Wednesday, March 19th. Senate Bills 51, 82, 83, 105, and 116.
Reports of standing committees.
The Committee on Education and Workforce, Representative DeBoer, Chair, reported House Joint Resolution E with recommendation that the substitute H1 be adopted and that the joint resolution be adopted.
Joint resolution will be referred to the order second reading. Messages from the Senate.
To the Speaker of the House of Representatives, dear sir, I herewith transmit Senate Bill 51, a bill to declare the powers and duties of the Black Leadership Advisory Council. People of the State of Michigan, enact.
Bill be considered at a first time by its title and referred to the Committee on Government Operations.
I herewith transmit Senate Bill 82, a bill to protect the safety of judges and certain other individuals. People of the State of Michigan, enact.
Bill be considered at a first time by its title and referred to the Committee on Government Operations.
I herewith transmit Senate Bill 83.
Correction, Senate Bill 82 will be referred to the Committee on Judiciary.
I herewith transmit Senate Bill 83, a bill to amend the State School Aid Act of 1979. People of the State of Michigan, enact.
Bill be considered at a first time by its title and referred to the Committee on Judiciary.
I herewith transmit Senate Bill 10.
Correction, Senate Bill 83 is referred to the Committee on Government Operations.
I herewith transmit Senate Bill 105, a bill to amend the Insurance Code of 1956. People of the State of Michigan, enact.
Bill be considered at a first time by its title and referred to the Committee on Insurance.
I would transmit Senate Bill 116, a bill to amend the food law. People of the State of Michigan, enact.
Bill be considered at a first time by its title and referred to the Committee on Regulatory Reform. Notices.
The House Oversight Subcommittee on Homeland Security and Foreign Influence will meet Wednesday, March 26th at 12 noon, room 308 of the House Office Building. The State Drug Treatment Court Advisory Committee will meet Tuesday, April the 8th at 10 a.m. in the Legislative Council Conference Room of the Boji Tower in Lansing.
Introduction of bills.
Representative Rodriguez offers House Bill 4267, a bill to amend the Michigan Memorial Highway Act. People of the State of Michigan, enact.
Bill be considered at a first time by its title and referred to the Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure.
Representative Burns offers House Bill 4268, a bill to amend the Michigan Campaign Finance Act. People of the State of Michigan, enact.
Bill be considered at a first time by its title and referred to the Committee on Government Operations.
Representative Brixey offers House Bill 4269, a bill to amend the Michigan Campaign Finance Act. People of the State of Michigan, enact.
Bill be considered at a first time by its title and referred to the Committee on Government Operations.
Representative Morgan offers House Bill 4270, a bill to amend the Michigan Campaign Finance Act. People of the State of Michigan, enact.
Bill be considered at a first time by its title and referred to the Committee on Government Operations.
Representative Kofia offers House Bill 4271, a bill to amend the Michigan Campaign Finance Act. People of the State of Michigan, enact.
Bill be considered at a first time by its title and referred to the Committee on Government Operations.
Representative Hope offers House Bill 4272, a bill to amend the Code of Criminal Procedure. People of the State of Michigan, enact.
Bill be considered at a first time by its title and referred to the Committee on Government Operations.
Representative Wilson offers House Bill 4273, a bill to amend and act regulate political activity. People of the State of Michigan, enact.
Bill be considered at a first time by its title and referred to the Committee on Government Operations. House will stand at ease.
The House will come to order. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Posthumous.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the House proceed to the order of third reading of bills and take up calendar item number 3, House Bill 4180.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar item number 3, House Bill 4180, introduced by Representative Steele. A bill to amend the General Sales Tax Act. People of the State of Michigan enact.
The bill will be considered read for a third time by its title. Are there amendments? There are not. Speaker recognizes Representative Long John.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Permission to speak to the entire package.
So ordered.
Thank you. I rise today in opposition to these road funding bills. I understand the need to fix our infrastructure. Like many of my colleagues, I drive on our roads 3 hours a day. There are potholes in my neighborhood, city, and all the way here and back every day. Also, like my colleagues, I hear from city managers and township supervisors and constituents every day about the need to fix the damn roads. I hear from my friends on the County Road Commission about the need to fix the damn roads. We all want better roads in Michigan and for Michiganders. But the way this package has been put together is impulsive and irresponsible. Passing these bills today puts too many other things important to Michiganders at risk. None of us know how many billions in cuts we'll be confronted with when the federal budget is realized. In that context, the risk is too great that this package will perpetuate defunding of vital areas in housing, in schools, in health care. Our roads are important, but they cannot come at the cost of the needs of Michigan families. Taxpayers want to see their dollars go to roads, but not at the expense of their health care, of their kids' schools, of their ability to have housing. My colleagues in the House know that I'm the only physician in the House and that I'm laser focused on improving the Michiganders' health care and cost of care. Based on the current federal and state budgets, 2.7 million Michiganders are at risk of losing aspects of their health care. That's 1 in 4 people in Michigan. If we pass this package today and leave questions unanswered about how we will fund health care for Michiganders, Medicaid and rural health centers will face increased uncertainty about how they will keep seeing patients, how they will retain their employees, how they will keep their doors open, and health care costs will go up. People in my district, if given the chance, would choose funding health care over fixing a pothole. We should be building people up and ensuring their basic needs are met so that they can live their healthiest possible lives. This package does not do that. More time and work is needed to reach a well-rounded bill package, one that considers the context in which we are serving and protects the well-being of Michiganders. Thank you.
Speaker recognizes Representative Kuntz.
Thank you, Madam Chair. May I have permission to speak the entire package?
So ordered.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Our roads have been neglected for too long. The comprehensive road funding plan does this. It fixes the problem without raising taxes. Now, roads have always been a priority for Michigan residents, and they've been waiting for over 7 years for a plan. And this is the first plan that they have seen in 7 years. It's a long-term solution. This allows MDOT, this allows our county road commissions to have a 5-year plan. We can't have a 5-year plan on a 1-year budget. By moving the sales tax over into the road tax, this is an ongoing solution. We're not going to have this conversation next year. We are going to fix the problem this year. It's not just about MDOT roads. This gives money to local road agencies. This focuses on funding driveways to freeways by allocating $2.55 billion directly to local roads. The roads that people use to get home, the driveway to the freeway. It addresses bridges. MDOT gets funding through the top of PA 51. Transit agencies are going to increase by $50 million. Amtrak is going to see an increase. Our ports are going to see an increase, all without raising taxes. We're one of the very few states that charge sales tax on gas. This plan makes sure that the money that people pay at the pump goes to the roads. It's a simple solution, it's a long-term solution, and it is revenue neutral. It takes existing funding and it puts it towards the top priority for Michiganders. We have received local government support for this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it and the work that goes through it. Madam Speaker, I'm urging a yes vote. Thank you.
Speaker recognizes Representative Frisbee.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Permission to speak to the package as a whole.
So ordered.
Colleagues, I rise today to address one of the top issues facing our constituents, and that is the abysmal state of our roads and bridges. All of us here can agree that more progress needs to be made, but where we differ on is where to find the revenue necessary to achieve this monumental task. We agree with Governor Whitmer, fix the roads. House Bills 4180 through 4187 accomplishes this while prioritizing affordability to our taxpayers. By enacting this roads plan, we offer a secure funding plan that averts the old ways of Lansing crisis funding, where we mismanage our finances, then demand more money from small businesses to cover our mistakes. The most important part of this package, though, is the focus on ensuring more dollars to reach local roads most impacted by poor roads and by the poor road situation, and finally allowing permanent fixes with the creation of a local road fund. This fund will greatly reduce the financial burden on our local communities. I urge my colleagues to vote yes on this critical package to achieve short, medium, and long-term solutions for our roads and bridges. Thank you.
Speaker recognizes Representative Rogers.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Permission to speak to the entire roads funding package.
So ordered.
I rise today to speak in opposition to House Bills 4180 through 7 and House Bills 4230. We all know that we need a long-term plan to fix our roads, and there is certainly a solution that we can work together to accomplish. In fact, I think we all can agree in this room that it's a problem long overdue. However, a roads plan cannot come at the expense of $3 billion in cuts to essential services. We don't even know which programs and departments these cuts will apply to. What we do know is that a pared-down budget we voted on a few weeks ago included steep cuts to the Department of Health and Human Services and our schools. How can we be expected to vote on a roads plan without knowing who will bear the consequences of defunding? In fact, I think, again, everyone can agree that our pregnant mothers need prenatal screenings. Our babies...
Representative, please keep your comments to the package as a whole. Speaker recognizes Representative Rogers.
Michiganders need stability in their access to health care and certainty in the law. Many in our state are already struggling to get by and afford access to health care. Blowing an unnecessary hole in state funding could cut essential programs that our Michiganders rely on. I believe we can work together to create a bipartisan plan to fix the roads that meets our infrastructure problems and keeps funding for kids' health and their education intact. These bills are a short-term solution to a long-term problem. We absolutely need a roads plan that doesn't fall on the backs of everyday Michiganders. Again, I encourage joining me in voting against this package. Thank you.
Speaker recognizes Representative Thompson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Good roads, smart spending, and addressing the people's priorities. I don't know about you, but I am getting really tired of talking about the damn roads. So let's actually fix them. That's what this plan before us is all about. Roads in many of our communities are in rough shape. That has been obvious for a long time, but far too long, Lansing has avoided delivering real solutions and an effective step moving forward. My colleague from the 40th district, I apologize, the good doctor, says that he's concerned about healthcare costs. As a nurse, I'm concerned about patients that had recent abdominal surgery and are post-op and are traveling over the potholes in our roads. This plan will put over $3 billion towards fixing this problem every single year, including badly neglected ones from the driveways to the highways of people in the areas that we represent, that they use every single day. Listen, I know that this is big, and I know that this is scary, but it's actually time for us as adults to put our big, scary feelings in our pocket and set that aside and actually do what's best for the people. Currently, many local and county road agencies do not have the sufficient resources to fix this infrastructure. Guess what? This fixes it. Wayne County, one of the counties that I represent, one of the counties that many of us represent in this chamber, will get an increase of $121 million to fix their county roads. That is a 250% increase. The city of Taylor will get $20 million. The little city of Flat Rock will get $3 million. We're not raising people's taxes, guys, and we're not saddening our future generations with additional debt from this plan. This is a funding shift with money that we already actually have that's actually going to address a long-time problem without raising taxes on Michigan citizens. People already pay at the Michigan gas pump towards the roads while holding our schools completely harmless. And decades of money that has gone towards ineffective corporate handouts to improving infrastructure. It's time to take the money away from the corporates and give it back to the people and the roads that we drive on every day, to school, to work, to doctor's appointments. When I'm talking with people in my district and the communities of Downriver and Monroe County, I don't hear them talking about a list of corporations that they want to support. I don't think that we should be giving 9-figure incentive checks from state government. That's what the priorities are of everyday people, the priorities that I just discussed. I ask for your support from this chamber so that we can provide them with this and make actual real reform. And again, I know this is a big, scary step, but I think that we're a big group of adults that can actually handle it. Thank you.
Speaker recognizes Representative Kolazar.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Permission to speak to the entire package?
So ordered.
Thank you. I want to begin my remarks today, Madam Speaker, by giving a genuine thank you to the committee chair. I believe him to be an honest broker, and I do think he's trying to work toward a bipartisan solution, and I thank him for that. However, I am rising to urge a no vote on these bills because they are just not as ironclad as I think they need to be. It is clear that we have a job ahead of us to develop a funding plan that improves roads across the state and keeps people safe. We must work together to build a plan that fixes local roads without burdening families with costs. But this is not that plan. This plan will cost Michigan families the quality schools that their kids deserve. Michigan schools currently receive nearly $1 billion in funding from the general sales tax on gas. This is money that supports our kids' safety, access to quality books and classroom materials, and keeps school infrastructure up to date. The road funding plan that we are looking at today could blow a hole in K-12 funding and leaves an awful lot of uncertainty with higher education. And I think we need to see a plan that could definitely guarantee that we would make up for those losses to Michigan students. The bottom line is that Michiganders deserve better funding proposals than ones that could cause structural cuts to the programs that our kids deserve. I know that every member in this legislature understands that our schools and students need our support. And I know that we all want to fight for our kids, and it is because of that that I urge a no vote on this legislation. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Speaker recognizes Representative Wooden.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I request permission to speak to the whole package.
So ordered.
Thank you. Today, I rise in opposition to this road funding package because it is nothing more than a shell game. I join and echo the sentiments of many of my colleagues, knowing the urgency before us and knowing the need to create a meaningful bipartisan plan to fund our roads. But voting yes will force us to endorse cuts to vital services and key investments our state needs. Investments like the Housing and Community Development Fund. Now, I don't know everyone's background in this chamber. As you all know, I'm relatively new. But when it comes to housing development, I'm going to venture a guess that I'm uniquely qualified. For those of you who don't know, I've spent most of my career in housing development, building affordable housing with a nonprofit in West Michigan. And as someone who has helped develop or renovate over 1,000 residences in West Michigan, who has taken development budgets from the red to the black, serving folks who've been homeless to those who've been striving for the middle class, I'm here to tell you that tools like the Housing and Community Development Fund are crucial to solving our urgent housing needs. Regulatory reform is crucial, but it will not solve the housing crisis alone. Its benefits are long-term, and there are still those who need services today. And the Housing and Community Development Fund is one of those tools. An annual investment of $50 million is a crucial way we can do our part to meet our housing needs now, and this package zeroes out that fund. The Michigan State Housing Development Authority has leveraged historic resources to help solve our state's housing crisis. As they've done this work, just about $50 million annually is the extent of this state budget's commitment to their work. And with the $50 million they've reserved so far with the MI Neighborhood Program, they're supporting the production and preservation of 1,390 units of affordable housing. This state support has been cost-effective. On average, the state contribution is about $35,000 per housing unit. It is moving quickly with shovel-ready projects in every corner of this state. It is showing its success, and why preserving this tool is urgent, and this package zeroes it out, which is why I am urging a no vote. Ultimately, we have key housing issues, and let's not bury those to fund another service. Let's make sure we can fund them all. Thank you.
Speaker recognizes Representative Linteen.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Permission to speak to the entire package?
So ordered.
Thank you. I rise today in support of House Bill 4085 and our comprehensive legislation that finally delivers a solution to fixing our crumbling local roads, but does so in a responsible way that ensures our students and public schools continue to receive the resources and funding they need. That's why my legislation directs $755 million of sales tax revenue to the School Aid Fund. With this money, our students and schools will receive the funding they need and suffer no loss of resources. We were elected to this chamber to spend taxpayer money responsibly, the way people expect and deserve. This package funds our most critical priorities without raising taxes or borrowing more money. My bill, House Bill 4185, is about priorities. My priorities are the same as the peoples of Michigan and certainly of downriver. They expect us to fix our local roads and fund our schools. With this legislation, that is exactly what we do. Thank you, and I urge a yes vote on House Bill 4185.
Speaker recognizes Representative Steele.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And permission to speak on the whole package, please.
So ordered.
I rise today in support of these bills to improve the quality of our roads, especially from the driveways to the highways. Long-term funding for road improvements has been an empty promise made to our Michigan residents and businesses. But today, we have an opportunity to accomplish road repairs and long-term funding without raising taxes. Our citizens want to be able to safely drive to work, school, and grandma's any day on a smooth, well-built roads without additional user fees and without raising taxes. Today, we have this opportunity to do this by replacing the general sales tax on fuel, and that is just the first step to our plan. Michiganians expect that our government take care and maintain our infrastructure without additional burdensome taxes, especially when our residents have been paying into the road system for decades and sometimes generations. Today, we have an opportunity to keep our promise by voting yes on my bill and the entire package. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Speaker recognizes Representative Outman.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Permission to speak to the entire package?
So ordered.
I rise today in strong support of this road funding package because Michiganders deserve better. For too long, they've endured crumbling roads and empty promises. We see the potholes, the failing infrastructure, and we hear the frustration from our constituents every single day. On top of that, we're facing a road funding cliff that, if ignored, will only make things worse. The plan before us today directly addresses these challenges, dedicating an additional $3.1 billion annually to fixing our roads, with a strong focus on the local roads people rely on every single day. Michigan families are already struggling with rising costs, yet some leaders are still pushing tax hikes as the only solution, and that's simply not true. The money is there, we just need to spend it wisely. Road funding is one of the most basic functions of government, but the government has failed to provide it. Government spending has exploded in recent years, yet road funding has not kept up, especially for local roads. Instead of pouring billions into corporate giveaways and wasteful pet projects, we must finally prioritize the core needs of Michigan residents: better, safer roads. I also want to take a moment to thank my colleagues, stakeholders, and all those who have worked alongside me to craft this plan. I value the partnership and commitment from so many who recognize the urgency of fixing our infrastructure the right way. Michiganders are tired of short-term fixes, and this plan delivers a real long-term solution that finally invests in the roads that impact our communities the most. This plan does not harm school funding or local revenue sharing, but delivers meaningful change for the people of this state. And that's why I urge my colleagues to support House Bills 4180 through 4187 and 4230. Let's get this done. Thank you.
The question before the House is the passage of the bill. A record roll call vote is required. All those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. The clerk will open the board. The clerk will close the board. Representative Song votes no. Representative Miller votes no. Representative Menser votes nay. Representative Neely, sorry, she's absent. Representative Herzberg. Representative Pies votes nay. Representative Kara votes yes. Representative Green votes yes. The clerk will tally, display, and announce the vote.
Madam Speaker, on the question of the final passage of House Bill 4180, there are 65 aye votes and 43 nay votes.
A majority of the members elected and serving having voted in favor, therefore, the bill has passed. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Postumus.
Move for immediate effect.
The Majority Floor Leader moves for immediate effect. All those in favor will rise. Immediate effect is ordered. Speaker recognizes Representative Fairbairn.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise today to recognize my guests in the West Gallery, representatives of the Petoskey Youth Advisory Council, and 2 City Council members from Petoskey.
Will the special guest of Representative Fairbairn please rise and welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Posthumus.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Continuing on the order of third reading of bills, I move that the House take up calendar item number 4, House Bill 4181.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar item number 4, House Bill 4181, introduced by Representative Frisbee. A bill to amend the Streamlined Sales and Use Tax Revenue Equalization Act. People of the State of Michigan enact.
The bill will be considered read for a third time by its title. Are there amendments? There being no amendments, the question before the House is the passage of the bill. A record roll call vote is required. All those in favor will vote aye. Those opposed, nay. The clerk will open the board. The clerk will close the board. Tally, display, and announce the vote.
Madam Speaker, on the question on final passage of House Bill 4181, there are 65 aye votes and 43 nay votes.
A majority of the members elected and serving having voted in favor, therefore, the bill has passed. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Posthumus.
Move for immediate effect.
The Majority Floor Leader moves for immediate effect. All those in favor will rise. Immediate effect is ordered. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Posthumus.
Continuing on the order of third reading of bills, I move that the House take up calendar item number 5, House Bill 4182.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar item number 5, House Bill 4182, introduced by Representative Slaw. A bill to amend the Use Tax Act. People of the State of Michigan enact.
The bill will be considered read for a third time by its title. Are there amendments? There being no amendments, the question before the House is the passage of the bill. A record roll call vote is required. All those in favor will vote aye. Those opposed, nay. The clerk will open the board. The clerk will close the board, tally, display, and announce the vote.
Madam Speaker, on the question of the final passage of House Bill 4182, there's 65 aye votes and 43 nay votes.
A majority of the members elected and serving having voted in favor, therefore, the bill has passed. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Posthumous.
I move for immediate effect.
The Majority Floor Leader moves for immediate effect. All those in favor will rise. Immediate effect is ordered. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Posthumous.
Continuing on the order of third reading of bills, I move that the House take up calendar item number 6, House Bill 4183.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar item number 6, House Bill 4183, introduced by Representative Coons, a bill to amend the Motor Fuel Tax Act. People of the State of Michigan enact.
The bill will be considered read for a third time by its title. Are there amendments? There being no amendments, the question before the House is the passage of the bill. A record roll call vote is required. All those in favor vote aye. Those opposed, nay. The clerk will open the board. The clerk will close the board, tally, display, and announce the vote.
Madam Speaker, on the question of the final passage of House Bill 4183, there are 62 aye votes and 46 nay votes.
A majority of the members elected and serving having voted in favor, therefore, the bill has passed. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Posthumous.
Move for immediate effect.
The Majority Floor Leader moves for immediate effect. All those in favor will rise. Immediate effect is ordered. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Posthumous.
Continuing on the order of third reading of bills, I move that the House take up calendar item number 7, House Bill 4184.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar item number 7, House Bill 4184, introduced by Representative Thompson, a bill to amend the Aeronautics Code of the State of Michigan. People of the State of Michigan enact.
The bill will be considered read for a third time by its title. Are there amendments? There being no amendments, the question before the House is the passage of the bill. A record roll call vote is required. All those in favor will vote aye. Those opposed, nay. The clerk will open the board. The clerk will close the board. Representative Price votes. The clerk will tally, display, and announce the vote.
Madam Speaker, the question on final passage of House Bill 4184, there are 62 aye votes and 46 nay votes.
A majority of the members elected and serving having voted in favor, therefore, the bill has passed. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Posthumus.
I move for immediate effect.
The Majority Floor Leader moves for immediate effect. All those in favor will rise. Immediate effect is ordered. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Posthumus.
Continuing on the order of third reading bills, I move that the House take up calendar item number 8, House Bill 4185.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar item number 8, House Bill 4185, introduced by Representative Linting, a bill to amend the General Sales Tax Act. People of the State of Michigan enact.
The bill will be considered read for a third time by its title. Are there amendments? There are. The clerk will read.
Representative Altman offers a series of 3 amendments identified as Amendment number 1.
On third reading amendments, they require support. Is there support? There is support. The question before the House is the adoption of the amendment. The clerk will open the board. The amendment is adopted. Are there further amendments? There being no further amendments, the question before the House is the passage of the bill. A record roll call vote is required. All those in favor will vote aye. Those opposed, nay. The clerk will open the board. The clerk will close the board. Representative Arbit votes nay. The clerk will tally, display, and announce the vote.
Madam Speaker, on the question on final passage of House Bill 4185, there are 64 aye votes and 44 nay votes.
A majority of the members elected and serving having voted in favor, therefore, the bill has passed. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Posthumus.
Move for immediate effect.
The Majority Floor Leader moves for immediate effect. All those in favor will rise. Immediate effect is ordered. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Posthumus.
Continuing on the order of third reading bills, I move that the House take up calendar item number 9, House Bill 4186.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar item number 9, House Bill 4186, introduced by Representative Carra. A bill to amend the Michigan Business Tax Act. People of the State of Michigan enact.
The bill will be considered read for a second time by its title. Are there amendments?
Third time.
The bill will be considered read for a third time by its title. Are there amendments? There being no amendments, the question before the House is the passage of the bill. A record roll call vote is required. All those in favor will vote aye. Those opposed, nay. The clerk will open the board. clerk will close the board. Representative Shriver votes nay. Representative Conlon votes nay. Representative O'Neill votes nay. Representative Young votes nay. Representative Skaggs votes nay. Representative Cerniglu votes nay. Representative Arbit votes nay. And the clerk will tally, display, and announce the vote.
Madam Speaker, on the question of final passage of House Bill 4186, there's 61 aye votes and 47 nay votes.
A majority of the members elected and serving having voted in favor, therefore, the bill has passed. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Posthumus. The Majority Floor Leader moves for immediate effect. All those in favor will rise. Immediate effect is ordered. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Posthumus.
Continuing on the order of third reading of bills, I move that the House take up calendar item number 10, House Bill 4187.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar item number 10, House Bill 4187, introduced by Representative Outman, a bill to amend the Income Tax Act of 1967. People of the State of Michigan enact.
The bill will be considered read for a third time by its title. Are there amendments? There are. The clerk will read.
Representative Altman offers a series of 5 amendments identified as Amendment number 1.
On third reading, amendments require support. Is there support? There is support. The question before the House is on the adoption of the amendment. The clerk will open the board. The amendment is adopted. Are there further amendments? There being no further amendments, the question before the House is the passage of the bill. A record roll call vote is required. All those in favor will vote aye. Those opposed, nay. The clerk will open the board. The clerk will close the board. Representative Kara votes nay. Representative Wozniak votes yay. The clerk will tally, display, and announce the vote.
Madam Speaker, on the question of final passage of House Bill 4187, there are 63 aye votes and 45 nay votes.
A majority of the members elected and serving having voted in favor, therefore, the bill has passed. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Posthumus.
Move for immediate effect.
The Majority Floor Leader moves for immediate effect. All those in favor will rise. Immediate effect is ordered. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Posthumus.
Continuing on the order of third reading of bills, I move that the House take up calendar item number 11, House Bill 4230.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar item number 11, House Bill 4230, introduced by Representative Altman. A bill to amend and act provide for the classification of all public roads, streets, and highways in this state. People of the State of Michigan enact.
The bill will be considered read for a third time by its title. Are there amendments? There being no amendments, the question before the House is the passage of the bill. A record roll call vote is required. All those in favor will vote aye. Those opposed, nay. The clerk will open the board. The clerk will close the board. Representative Skaggs votes nay. Representative Young votes nay. Representative McDonald votes nay. Representative Menser votes nay. Representative Carter, Brenda Carter votes Representative Liberati votes nay. Representative Cara votes nay. Representative Carter votes nay. The clerk will tally, display, and announce the vote.
Madam Speaker, the question for final passage of House Bill 4230, there are 63 aye votes and 45 nay votes.
A majority of the members elected and serving having voted in favor, therefore, the bill has passed. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Postumus.
Move for immediate effect.
The Majority Floor Leader moves for immediate effect. All those in favor will rise. Immediate effect is ordered. Speaker recognizes Representative Price.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today I have some very special guests from the Royal Oak City Commission in the South Gallery.
Will the special guests of Representative Price please rise and welcome to the Michigan House of Representatives. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Begole.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move the House proceed the order of second reading of bills and take up calendar item number 12, House Bill 4004.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar item number 12, House Bill 4004, introduced by Representative Altman. A bill to amend the Macaulay-Traxler Law Bowman-McNeely Lottery Act. People of the State of Michigan enact.
The bill will be considered read for a second time by its title. Are there amendments? There being no amendments, the question before the House is advancing the bill to the order of third reading. Hearing no objection, the bill is on third reading. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Begole.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Continuing on the order of second reading of bills, I move that the House take up calendar item number 15, House Bill 4147.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar item number 15, House Bill 4147, introduced by Representative Steele. A bill to amend the State School Aid Act of 1979. People of the State of Michigan enact.
The bill will be considered read for a second time by its title. Are there amendments? There being no amendments, the question before the House is advancing the bill to the order of third reading. Hearing no objection, the bill is on third reading. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Begole.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Continuing on the order of second reading of bills, I move that the House take up calendar item number 17, House Bill 4149.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar item number 17, House Bill 4149, introduced by Representative Kuhn. A bill to amend the revised school code. People of the State of Michigan enact.
The bill will be considered read for a second time by its title. Are there amendments? There are. The clerk will read.
The Committee on Education and Workforce, Representative DeBoer, Chair, recommends the adoption of substitute H1.
The question is on the adoption of the substitute. All those in favor will vote aye. Those opposed, nay. The clerk will open the board. The substitute is adopted. There being no more amendments, the question before the House is advancing the bill to the order of third reading. Hearing no objection, the bill is on third reading. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Begole.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Continuing on the order of second reading bills, I move that the House take up calendar item number 21, House Bill 4154.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar number 21, House Bill 4154, introduced by Representative Begole, a bill to amend the Post-Secondary Enrollment Options Act. People of the State of Michigan enact.
The bill will be considered read for a second time by its title. Are there amendments? There being no amendments, the question before the House is advancing the bill to the order of third reading. Hearing no objection, the bill is on third reading. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Begole.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Continuing on the order of second reading bills, I move that the House take up calendar item number 22, House Bill 4115.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar number 22, House Bill 4115, introduced by Representative Aragona, a bill to amend an act to regulate and license pawnbrokers that conduct business in this state. People of the State of Michigan enact.
The bill will be considered read for a second time by its title. Are there amendments? There being no amendments, the question before the House is advancing the bill to the order of third reading. Hearing no objection, the bill is on third reading. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Begole.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Continuing on order of second reading of bills, I move that the House take up calendar item number 23, House Bill 4116.
With no objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
Calendar number 23, House Bill 4116, introduced by Representative Liberati, a bill to amend an act to regulate and license pawnbrokers that conduct business in this state. The people of the State of Michigan enact.
The bill will be considered read for a second time by its title. Are there amendments? There being no amendments, the question before the House is advancing the bill to the order of third reading. Hearing no objection, the bill is on third reading. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Posthumus.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the House proceed to the order of motions and resolutions and take up House Resolution 45.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
House Resolution number 45, introduced by Representative Wooden, a resolution to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Ronald McDonald House Charities.
Colleagues, we've got a member wishing to address the body. Please give him your attention. Speaker recognizes Representative Bierlein.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. In April of 1982, a young couple who lived in Sterling, Michigan had a baby. He was a 20-year-old truck driver whose family had recently lost their family farm, and she was a waitress at the one local diner. The child that they had was born with a large hole between his left and right ventricle. It's known as a ventral septal defect. It caused a lot of medical problems, and they kind of compounded on each other, and they were afraid. They were so afraid that the couple hastily chose to have a home baptism for the child, and then they drove the over 3 hours to Detroit Children's Hospital. The child was admitted and spent over a month receiving care before being stabilized and eventually sent home. It's a great hospital, and they did good work. For the month that he was there, the dad was a truck driver, and he had to be on the road to help pay bills. The mom stayed at the Ronald McDonald House that's right by Detroit Children's. It's a great institution, and they provided her with the place she needed to be able to be close to her child. I was that child, and that was my mom. And I just want to thank my colleague from District 81 for this resolution, and I hope that everyone will support it. Thank you.
Speaker recognizes Representative Wooden.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise in support of this resolution commemorating the 50th anniversary for the Ronald McDonald House Charities. The Ronald McDonald House Charities were established in 1974 and have been keeping families together and near the medical care they need ever since. You all heard an incredibly moving story of one of those families, and my family is another one. My sister-in-law was born with significant developmental disabilities and spent much of her early life in hospital care. And because of that, my wife and my in-laws were able to receive the care they needed at the Ronald McDonald House. These stories are not unique and they are far too common, but it is because of charities like these that they are able to find the comfort and care that they deserve. They provide vital resources and compassionate care while families persevere through some of life's toughest battles, helping to lessen the burden for more than 2.7 million families in more than 62 countries across the globe. Not only have Ronald McDonald House Charities been there for families receiving care at hospitals, but they have also taken care of those in need through their mobile care units program. This program has 40 state-of-the-art mobile units across the globe that bring dental, medical, and healthcare services to underserved communities. After 50 years of service, they show no sign of stopping. So please join me in honoring the Ronald McDonald House Charities for 50 years of service by voting yes on this resolution. Thank you.
The question before the House is on the adoption of House Resolution 45. All those in favor of the resolution will say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. The resolution is adopted. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Postumus.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Continuing on the order of motions and resolutions, I move that the House take up House Resolution 46.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
House Resolution number 46, introduced by Representative Steckloff, a resolution to declare March 22nd, 2025 as Michigan Water Day and World Water Day in the state of Michigan.
The question before the House is on the adoption of House Resolution 46. Speaker recognizes Representative Postumus.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to pass for the day.
Without objection, so ordered. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Postumus.
Continuing on the order of motions and resolutions, I move that the House take up House Resolution 47.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
House Resolution number 47, introduced by Representative Hope, a resolution to declare March 16th through 22nd, 2025 as Sunshine Week in the state of Michigan.
The resolution is referred to the Committee on Government Operations. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Postumus.
Continuing on the order of motions and resolutions, I move that the House take up House Resolution 48.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
House Resolution number 48, introduced by Representative Weiss, a resolution to direct the Clerk of the House of Representatives to promptly present to the Governor 9 bills that were passed by both houses of the legislature and ordered and enrolled in December 2024.
The resolution is referred to the Committee on Government Operations. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Postumus.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the House proceed to the order of messages from the Senate to read in the message on Senate Concurrent Resolution 4.
Without objection, so ordered. The clerk will read.
To the Speaker of the House of Representatives, sir, who would transmit to the House Senate Concurrent Resolution 4, a concurrent resolution to prescribe the legislative schedule. The Senate has adopted the concurrent resolution.
The question before the House is on the adoption of the Senate Concurrent Resolution 4. All those in favor of the concurrent resolution will say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. The concurrent resolution is adopted. Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Postumus.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move that the House proceed to the order of motions and resolutions.
Without objection, so ordered. The Speaker recognizes Majority Floor Leader Postumus.
Just to let the members know, there will be no further voting today, and when the House adjourns, it stands adjourned until Thursday, March 20th, 2025 at 12 p.m. noon.
The House will stand at ease at the call of the chair.
The House come to order and proceed to notices.
To Clerk Scott Starr from Representative Farhat. Dear Mr. Clerk, I am giving notice that on the following session day, I intend to move to discharge the Committee on Appropriations of Senate Bills 55 and 56. The House Appropriations Subcommittee on School Aid and Department of Education will meet Tuesday, March 25th at 9 a.m., room 326 of the House Office Building.
There being no further business to come before the House, Representative Skaggs moves that the House do now adjourn. Hearing no objection, the House will stand adjourned until Thursday, March 20th, 2025 at 12 o'clock p.m.